In executive session. You bought that police car?
Yeah,
Pretty fast.
it's plenty fast, but it's just so funny because people hit their brakes. We were coming from Kansas City to Lawrence, and it was heavy traffic, road construction. And I'm like, Cynthia, there's nobody in front of us. And I look in the rearview mirror, and I bet we had traffic backed up a mile because they were afraid to pass us. And somebody saw the 30 or 60-day tag, and whoo! It's kind of handy that way. It's got a spotlight on it. That's the whole reason I bought it. That's $1.50, or it was $1.50 fee, and you could spotlight things now and hunt that way. Hi, Don.
Hello.
Before we need to make a motion on that holiday. But
I move we raise the bonus.
yes, I like this.
Do we need to state it?
It's coming out of your wages though.
No, it's coming out right here. I'll show you where it's coming from.
Okay.
Is that good enough motion, or do we need to state the amounts?
Do I need to leave the room?
you need to state the amount.
I move we raise the Christmas bonus from 200 to 300 for full-time employees, part-time employees from 100 to 150.
I second it.
It's been first and second to raise the bonuses. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Since I'm in the room and get to vote. Okay.
I move that all elected officials do not get a bonus.
Hey now, that's not, hey, you're elected.
I don't.
All right, so this is just my quarterly statement of funds and where everything's at as far as where the money is located in different bank accounts and stuff like that. At the bottom, I added the interest for each quarter. You can see we've gone up considerably as I've talked to banks and had them renegotiate interest rates.
Well, the Fed just raised it up too.
Yep, so that's helped a lot.
I see that.
One bank is actually matching the Fed rate, the others aren't. They've come up, but they're not matching the Fed rate. But a lot of that is that we do have a bank that is being very generous with their interest rate. So
Yeah.
it's quite nice that, so I move that we take this and split it amongst the table.
So sorry.
No, dang it, okay. So you'll see our total cash monies there. And then the next report is just how it breaks down into each of the funds. And the grand total for the funds matches the grand total that's in the bank, which is how it's supposed to be.
That's
It's always a
good.
plus when that happens. So yeah, that's just a breakdown of, and this is as of September 30th, the end of the third quarter. So
How'd you manage that?
I'm just that good. It's my job.
I should have known better.
Yeah, it's my job, so I try and take it serious. So yeah, everything,
There was like the school boards in that was total,
school board.
or the school districts.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because this lists, the next 2 pages lists it by fund. So you can see where it's all at. So, and this kind of correlates to his quarterly report of disbursements and expenditures. So interest is going great. I don't think I'm gonna move any more accounts or close any more accounts. The auditors are very happy that I consolidated the bank accounts, because we used to have, I don't know, 15 or something, and now we have 10. I mean, some of them I can't consolidate, but, and then I've closed out some of these funds in October after the audit and all that, so this 4-page report will be a little bit shorter at the end of fourth quarter. So, we're getting things cleaned up and consolidated, and our money is growing and all that good stuff.
It is exciting to see a local bank coming up that high on the interest rates.
Yeah, they said they would. She's like, I questioned it, and she's like, nope, they said go for it. And so hopefully it continues throughout the year at least. And I've transferred some money over there. I asked her, I said, if you're gonna do this interest rate, I'm gonna give you more money
Yeah.
if you can pledge it and you can guarantee it. And so she was very excited.
Spend money to make money.
Yeah.
It's not spending, but yeah.
Yeah, I felt bad moving it from another bank to this one, but at the same time, when we're doubling our interest income, I gotta work on the behalf of the county
Business is business.
and handling taxpayer money appropriately and feeding the general fund so that we can do other things. So that's all I really had. I was curious, since I'm here and I have everybody here, I was curious on the ARPA money, what the plan is with that, because I know with COVID and with all that, it was there was a committee and and I hadn't heard much
Still
about
is.
ARPA. There's still the same committee?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's actually, the ARPA money's actually doubled since then.
Yeah, we got our
The last line item here.
second payment in.
Yeah, so it's doubled
Okay.
for our total. So it's the same committee that's gonna approve things and, okay. Can I be added to that committee?
I would think so.
Okay. Cause we had our, regional treasurers meeting on Wednesday, and some of those other counties were saying how that they've been spending their ARPA money, and I know we haven't spent any of it yet. So I just was wondering what
Well, ambulances is what,
we didn't budget for an ambulance?
like an ambulance, but not 4 of them.
We're getting 4 ambulances,
It's 2 small ones and 2 big ones.
and we're gonna get rid of the ones that we have?
Well,
Okay.
I think some are going to, well, like the main ones are going to be the backups.
Okay. Okay.
But that's not official.
Right. Yeah, cause, okay. Me personally, as a department head and as a part of the community, I'd like to see it go to as many community projects or people as possible. But, so that's why because some of the other counties are getting very creative with it and using it in very fun ways and are really helping the communities and redoing the courthouse stuff, and some are getting air conditioner units, some are getting boilers, so since there's not as many stipulations as there was with the COVID money, we have a lot of broken windows, it'd be kind of nice to, so anyways, I just wanted to see how that was getting handled. And then can we get minutes and agendas emailed to us as department heads
Minutes are online
on the website? Okay. And have you got the minutes that I was looking for? Okay, perfect.
I'll email them to you later.
Okay, awesome. Is the agenda online too? Okay. Can we,
I don't know.
okay.
I've been thinking about it, but I don't know where it goes and how I can do it. So I need to figure it out or talk to somebody.
How to email the agenda? Or how to
No,
upload the agenda?
Upload the agenda.
Okay, gotcha. Onto the website. Okay, gotcha. Because I've had some people ask about, how do they find the agenda? Do I have the agenda? And like, the clerk's office has the agenda usually on the counter, but they don't necessarily want to come into the courthouse to just look at a piece of paper. So, okay. I think that's all I have. If there's any questions from you guys. Okay,
Looks good, thank you.
okay, awesome. Thanks,
you.
guys. Hey, now.
You ready?
Yep.
Just got them on slide back. Oops, sorry.
Morning.
How are you?
Good. All I had was, we need to renew the security services on the firewall here at the courthouse. It's over the limit that needs approval by you guys, so I've got 2 informal bids from places online. Those are from 2 different places there. And then my bid as well for the same thing, so. So mine was that, and they're both 2,400, I believe, so.
I don't know a lot about firewall. I just unplug it. I gotta be honest.
No, the security services is what makes the firewall do what it does. So, the hardware is one thing, but then this is the licensing basically to make it work, so. It's something we have to renew every year. It's just the one here is a little more expensive than the other
Oh,
locations, so.
heavens, yes.
Did it go up much from last year?
No, I don't believe this one has. Normally as the models start getting older, then they start increasing that price to make you go to a newer one that has cheaper renewals. But, so this one's not too bad yet. But,
So we need a motion to go with Reach Solutions
Yeah.
or
$2,045.
$2,045. That's so moved.
I second.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Very good. We'll get it taken care of.
Appreciate it.
Thanks
So-
for doing all that stuff.
Yep. But don't really have anything else IT wise, Major. We're gonna finish up a project up at the EM building that was started prior to us. I'm hoping to have that done yet by the end of the year, just some cabling and stuff that is left unfinished, but other than that, nothing major going on.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Have a good day.
Mr. Schultz,
Morning, man.
how are you?
Good.
You
I
did-
don't have anything because we don't have numbers yet.
Okay.
But I did want to stop by. I want to commend the Road and Bridge Department for the way they're mowing the ditches. They're doing a good job.
That's good. They'll be happy to hear that.
So, because they're mowing the ditches, not just the shoulders.
Yeah.
So I take it you'll come back when you get those numbers?
Yes.
How's your numbers up there now?
They're solid still.
Good.
So yeah, I don't know what his plan is, you know, next year when we have normal rain, hopefully they'll change the mowing, being able to stay on top of things.
Yeah.
But it's neat to have those ditches mowed, so not deer standing in them and hidden. They can still stand there, but they can't be hidden. All right, so that's all I wanted to report.
Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you.
Yes.
Steve on his way.
Yeah.
I'll better top this off quick. Nice work, Brad. How are you? Good, how are you? Good.
much stuff. There you go. Okay, I'll go ahead and get started. I guess just a little catch up here. This is expenses through October 14th on this sheet here. And I've got one end of last month too that I'll hand out. This one gives you where we were at on the budget at the end of last month. Oh, sorry, that's what we did. I think I left the one for the solid waste back over in the.
Did you get your grading back yet?
We did. And we've had a few issues, but they're addressing it. In fact, they're gonna have a tech out today, and anything comes up, it's like they were saying, it's not gonna be any cost to us. They'll get it taken care of.
Thank you for taking care of that road over there too.
Okay, yeah, I think that helped a lot.
Yeah.
It was pretty tight in
Yeah,
spots.
it
It
was.
was down to 18 feet wide in some areas, and they've got it out to at least 23. It's a lot better.
And they were happy.
That's solid waste too, but didn't get you the last couple meetings, so. Yeah, we did pay the bill on the bridge, and I think it's noted there, there's the 200,000 reimbursement is, KDOT's processing that, so that will come back in. We don't have it yet.
Is that done?
It is, in fact, I don't think I'd ever shown you any shots of it while we were working on it, but that's the finished bridge right there.
Looks good.
Oh, it don't, you can keep them if you want, or I can take them back. It's fine. Okay, if there's no questions on any of the material I've handed out, I'll move on. A lot of handouts today. Been on the phone with Leah McNeil from Milco, and this is regarding us requesting, been calling it an exemption, she's calling it actually a suspension, but of our groundwater sampling due to the distance from the bottom of the cell to the top of the water table. There are 3 requirements that need to be met, and 2 of those are gonna require what's called a HELP model, and that's stands for Hydrologic Evaluation of Landfill Performance. And it's just to see, what the water movement does through the soil, make sure there's geological
properties there that will allow us to proceed with suspending our sampling. And in order to do that sampling, that's gonna be at an expense, and that's gonna be, if Milco does it, which they've talked to Penco, and Penco would prefer that Milco did it, it would not exceed $4,500 to do the engineering on that modeling. And that's just a letter that I got from, I think, Leah this morning, kinda explaining. And again, this is, if we suspend our sampling there, we will not need to, at some point in the near future, basically put in another well, because we're having one that's gonna be going dry at the current trend that it's proceeding on. So that's, this Sam Boaz that she referenced there in the first part of her email, he's the one that did approach us earlier this year, late last year, to try and request the suspension of the sampling. In a way to save us the expense of the cost of sampling annually, which I think is north of $1,500 per sample, and then also to not have to drill a new monitoring well, which is gonna run
They
over, I
sample
believe,
them yearly?
Right, and it's an annual sample that's
Okay.
done. And to date, all but, I think, 2 occasions back in 2008, there was, and she didn't indicate this the last time we talked, but there was a slightly elevated benzene samples that were just slightly above the minimum. And they said was no concern, and they have not seen that since, and that could have just been an anomaly. And I think that was in 2008, but everything else has been well below. So that's why I think Sam thought that this is something that has not been done, is my understanding, to date by any county to request a suspension of this sampling, but he thinks we'd have a good chance to get that approved through KDHE.
How many wells we have out there, do you know?
Well, there's 3 that we're using. I think there's a 4th and maybe a 5th. I think and the ones that we're using, you have a up gradient and they go down gradient, and I think I'm not gonna say for sure which number it is, but one of those 3 is within, I think, 4 inches of going dry.
So if it's $1,500 a well to test it per year, and we get the suspension, the 45 will be cheap.
Right, and that's it. And I just asked Leah too about, well, what if our groundwater level what's the likelihood of that going back up? And, because that's why they're calling it suspension. If it did elevate back up to within that 150-foot distance, then we would be required to resume sampling. But we wouldn't have to drill a new well, because we'd already have the existing wells. And then the likelihood of that happening is minimal. It's
So those wells must
unlikely.
not go to shale then.
Pardon?
They must not go to shale.
Well, I'm not sure
If we're running out of water, is that what you said? One of the wells is running out of water?
right, it's getting, the depth water in that well is less than half a foot right now. I think it was like 4 inches. So if
They'll probably
and
go to
it's been
shale.
on a trend of dropping and declining, and the trajectory is it's gonna go dry.
You need a motion?
Right, believe for the expense of the $4,500, not to exceed $4,500
And that's
for Milco.
Milco. Okay, for the
Right, to
help model.
do the help modeling.
Go for it.
I make a motion that we have Milco do the research at not to exceed $4,500 for the help model.
Second?
It's been first and second, huh? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed.
For the what model?
It's a help model.
It's
Okay. I just want to make sure I heard that right.
hydrologic evaluation of landfill performance.
I didn't write
stands
that far
for.
down.
If you want to know what that stands for, I kind of like to know. Moving on, met with Jordan from Penco and then two other individuals. One, Scott Motor from GBA. It's another engineering firm that's teamed up with Penco, and then Kent Anschutz, I think is how you pronounce that. He's with KDOT, and they were doing their annual, I think, review of weight limits on bridges, and we have one bridge off 38 that we needed to update the weight limit sign, going from 12 ton down to 10 tons. And then we have one that's a new posting, and that's the Mueller Bridge, and that's just a mile east of that. And unfortunately, that's on Road 31, about a mile south of our new bridge. And that one needed to get posted due to some continuing of some cracking that's going on in the pre-stressed girders that are on the deck for that bridge. And so we did go ahead and get those posted. We had to do it within 4 weeks of when they came and visited with me. I think it was on September 7th. So we got the signs in that first part of October and got them installed at those two bridges. I'm just going to show you. It's flexure and shear cracking, and they're essentially their hairline, but once they start, I think they, over time, they can continue, and does require them to do a reduction in the capacity of the bridge. And here's kind of just an example, and this is when they last were out inspecting the bridge, and that's showing where the shear cracking is.
That don't look very dangerous.
So we are posted to our and the new weight limit on that bridge. It went from legal load and is now 18, 27, and 30 for the three different configurations of truck, like a single unit, double unit, and then a triple unit bridge. So it's gone to 18 ton, 27 ton, and 30 ton. And right now, just exploring options on what we can do in the future. There's everything from retrofit, which would be replacing the deck. Of course, you're talking probably a couple $100,000 and maybe more to do that. I know in the past, Dave has run I-beams in underneath to help reinforce the existing deck. That's another option. That will not allow us to lift the weight limit, but it would just reinforce it.
Is there that many heavy trucks that go through there?
It
That's
gets
the
pretty
weak
heavy
trucks.
traffic. Yeah, Jordan said when they were down there inspecting that, he was amazed at the number of trucks that day they were down there. They were going up and down that road. So
Yeah,
it gets used.
We're gonna see more and more, cause we're just getting more semis all the time.
Yeah, it's a busy road.
And
But
most of them are overweight.
It's over here, all
it's-
the pictures. Are they any worse than when this picture was taken?
No, I don't believe there's been a
Okay.
significant change. When they were up for their visit, I don't believe they were doing any additional measurements that day, but they'll keep an eye on it, and as will we. We'll crawl under there and check it on a regular basis to keep an eye on it. So. But those were just the two, and they had several others that they inspected. And I think they still have about another remaining. It says here 38 remaining, and I assume that means in the coming years they'll continue to check those and do any updates as necessary. Okay, moving on. It'd probably been several months ago or a couple months ago, I'd mentioned that we would like to in the future, try and upgrade our flatbed trailers, mainly our lowboy. And then as well, in an effort to try and absorb some of the costs, we do have one of our belly dump gravel trailers. Was parked in the yard for quite a few years and has not been used. And we don't anticipate really needing it, and we were gonna see if we could send that up to the auction sometime soon and move that down the road, since it's just sitting there and not getting in any better shape. We're gonna make sure it's functional, which it is, but we'd like to take that up there and put that up for auction. And I don't know if I need to make a motion for auctioning off that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll either auction it, or I don't know if we need to know exactly. I wonder about putting a price on it too, 'cause I don't wanna put it up for auction and then get
Low bid.
anywhere near what it should be worth, so.
Well, can't you put a limit on?
That's what I'd like to pursue,
Yeah.
probably, is just get a price on it.
I don't know, like that auction deal up there, I don't think you can put
And no reserve,
a reserve on it.
right, and there are some that do.
There might be some, I don't know.
Big iron?
Gavel Roads is a new one, and I believe from talking to Curtis, he indicated that was an option, and I'd visit with him again about it to see exactly how that works, but.
Then you could put off with auction time and see what,
Mhm.
if they have a reserve, but I don't.
Remember, sure.
It's a Load King, I would assume? 'Cause
I'm not sure.
They have a higher
I
resale.
don't wanna say for sure right now. It's trailer 309, I can't remember which one that is, we got. So if it would be
Are you
okay,
thinking this year, or are you gonna wanna wait till next?
as far as selling that trailer,
No, getting a new load.
probably next year. I mean, towards early next year, I'd like to. And I have been in contact with, just with the outfit yesterday, called the Rays. I think they're out of Sawyer, Kansas, and they are a trailer dealer that one of the guys mentioned might be good to look at, and they do trade in, so we could look
So we
at
could
possibly
trade
trading,
it, that would be-
trading the low boy and maybe a truck with it. 'Cause we talked about getting rid of one of our Kenworths after we got the new one, which, again, it's nothing I was gonna do here immediately, but just looking into it and seeing what the options are.
Aren't low boys around 45 to 55,000 for a good
That's, yeah,
Okay.
probably, and maybe up a little bit on
Okay.
that. So I think I've seen close to 60,000
one? Okay.
on new, and that's that's probably the way to go. I mean, we can
Less trouble.
sure look at used if there's something decent, but I think a lot of them are gonna use them until they're
Yeah.
pretty well used.
Somebody else's problem.
Yeah. Okay, and then do we need to make a motion on the selling of the trailer?
So are you
Probably
wanting,
not, just approval.
so you're wanting to sell the
Okay.
trailer and possibly one of the trucks too?
Right, well, right now, the trailer, we would just
Okay.
put up for sale, and then we'll try and, we're still working on 218, you're aware of that?
Yeah.
Kenworth, and we may have, got that thing going where it doesn't go to idle
Good.
anymore. We've got one other truck that's identical and has the same issue, whether it's the same problem. We're gonna address that here shortly, and hopefully we've got that figured out, and, it would probably be, truck number 216, I think it's a Freightliner is one that we're thinking about moving on.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that though, but it's
Well,
probably one of the top candidates.
It's all right with me if you wanna take that gravel trailer and that dump belly and
Yeah, we
see
just,
what you can do with it.
yeah, we just haven't been using it, and I think
Maybe
it'd
come
be-
back and let us know what you're gonna put for a low price or.
Okay. All right. I believe that's all those items, and then I just also need to request that we go to executive session for personnel.
How long, Steve?
10 minutes.
I'll make a motion, we have 10 minutes of executive session for non-elected personnel.
Second?
And first and second for 10 minutes, executive session for non-elected personnel. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna run down real quick.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
That's
Eddie Schultz was complimenting you guys.